Right. So we would like to start this session. So having a kind of feedback on the video recordings what we have. There you may have come across some of the questions. Uh, so let's get them clarified first, and thereafter we can move on to the class activities, and then we'll have a look at the class activities. So we would like to hear from you. So you can use both the option. So you can use the chat option, as well as you can straight away talk to us and get the clarification on the video recording that you had on the first 4 principles of the model design. The first 4 principles of model design. So we'll be discussing that first, and thereafter we'll move to the class activities. So අපි එතකොට මුලින්ම කතා කරමු අපි පළවෙනි වීඩියෝ එකේ ඩිස්කස් කරා class the model design principles වල first 4 principles අපි ඩිස්කස් කරා. එතකොට ඒ වීඩියෝ එකේ clarify කරගන්න දේවල් පුතාලට තියෙන්න පුළුවන්. එතකොට අපි දේවල් මුලින්ම සාකච්ඡා කරමු. ඊට පස්සේ අපි class activities වලට එමු.
Dear students, I think you must talk and you will have to clarify the questions or the problems, because otherwise you will get problem at the end when you are going to do the examination. So it's a time for you to ask question from us, get a clarification. So it's not a big problem, not a big deal. You can send the message or you can switch on your mic and talk to us. So we can clarify the 2 videos first of all. Then after that we can discuss with you. You hand out the class activities. That is what the Roshan sir want.
So we have planned these sessions that is for your betterment. So we have so in fact we have covered up the lectures, but this is a kind of additional support, right? So we make ourselves available for a kind of online discussion, so that this particular initiative would help you in clarifying whatever the question that you had come across. So better get them clarified first, and then we can talk about the class activities. So therefore, we highly expect your interaction with this respect. So otherwise, this won't be a success. So Gimhani, we would like to hear from you. Are you fine with those 2 videos that you had on the model design principles? Are you all fine with that content or anything? So when you talk, you have to switch on the mic, or otherwise you can use the chat option. And please let us know your feedback. So if you are fine with the content, so even if you are clear, yes, just let us know. So because we just need to know so your position. So then that will help us to move on. Then so if you do not have any questions, yes, in fact, we would go to the class activities and we may discuss that. So no point of wasting time on this. Yes. So you're clear with that respect. Yes. So likewise, we would like to hear even from the others. Yes. Yes, Prasad, did you come across any questions? So while you are referring to those videos on the model design principles, the first 4 model design principles, have you came across any questions? Right, so you are fine with that, right? Okay, likewise, we would like to hear more and more of you. So please just give your thoughts on that. We would like to hear more and more of you. So we would like to provide the clarification, the necessary clarification. So in fact, so as far as this model design principle is concerned, so I believe that, so this is what it puts the theoretical foundation that it requires for the rest of the lectures. So because you are going to apply all these principles throughout the course. So therefore it is necessary for you to be sound in this model design principles. So in fact, that's why we have taken such a time to extensively discuss those principles. So originally we have planned for one session, but we felt that so it would require much more time. So therefore we have planned it for 2 sessions. So we have just discussed the first 4 principles. So in the upcoming videos, we'll be discussing the rest of them. So that's how we have planned the things. Yes, there's a question. So when you come to that range names, can we use that any method of those 3 ways of range name?
Yes.
Yes,
Of course. No? They can use.
You can use that, but
you can use one of the options, and you can do your activities as you wish.
Yeah.
It all depends on the size of your database. If the large database, it is good to highlight it and go for the range name command.
Yes. So in fact, that you have to think about the most efficient use. That is what we've been highlighting. So the 3 methods are available. So once you expose yourself to all the available methods, then you can think of when you are come across a particular scenario, what method would come in handy. So that is a kind of judgment that you have to make. So if you have a large scale database, so where the headings are given, so probably the 3rd method will work best. That is in the sense, the create the name from selection. So because it will do the job in no time.
Yes, Prashant sir, there's another question asking whether we are going to explain all the answers now.
Yeah.
It's only the 3rd question. We will be starting with the question number 1. So we will discuss those things a little later. And also there's another question asking whether we can use the model development, can't use the pivot table. Yes, for a specific purpose. Pivot table is a very specific purpose whereby you can slice and dice your information and get the report related to the user. So in this model development is something different from that, because the pivot table is generating your requirements. According to your requirements, you can develop the answers. But the model development is starting from the inputting the input data and then developing the output. So there's a difference between the pivot table, and we will be discussing the pivot table as well. Yeah. So that will be another useful function for the people like you, because when you are asked to develop a certain answer for a given database, then you will be able to use that option called pivot table, and you can slice and dice the information and get the required report quickly within a very short period.
So in fact, this pivot table, so it is mainly applicable for the large scale databases. Yes. So you can do different kinds of analysis. You can put the things in different ways, and you can come up with different kinds of analysis. So therefore, it is basically a tool that we use for the analysis of large scale databases.
And also they can develop the graphs as well. No? Directly they can get the graphs.
Yeah. So we have dedicated sessions for that. So we'll be taking this particular pivot table into discussion in the upcoming lectures for sure, depending on the importance.
Basically, what we plan, actually, Roshan sir and ourselves, what we plan, this discussion class is put out to discuss your questions, actually, to give you more opportunity to talk to us
Hmm.
and get clarification, because the video lectures are much more convenient for all of you. We are uploading all the video lectures that you can download and watch it and do your activities without any problem. So, other than the video lectures, what we thought of giving you 1 hour session whereby you can clarify the things. So that's what we like to get your clarification or the questions from your side, and then to explain those things rather than again repeating what we have discussed in the video lecture. Because I hope everyone got the video lectures downloaded and it's very clear, and you can stop at any point and then you can look at how we calculated everything, and that is there. So in the future also we will be uploading, but this additional class we have arranged to have a discussion with you and get your knowledge further updated. If you have any problem, if you have some question like what you asked now, few people, so that is very important. So if you come up with your questions, we appreciate that.
Yes, so here's another question that can we use range name between two separate Excels? Generally, we'll be using the range name for a particular workbook. But in some circumstances, when you are developing the model, in fact, you will be discussing that. So hopefully in the next lecture, when it comes to model development, in some cases, we are developing models using different or several worksheets, several workbooks, in fact. So that is in the sense, the input, you may store that in a particular workbook, and output that may be in another workbook. In that particular case, you may draw a link between the input and output. In that particular case, so if you had made use of the range name in the inputs, so it may become applicable. So when you are going to generate the output, so there you have to establish a link. So unless there is a link between different worksheets, so normally, generally, the range name is available for a particular workbook. So in some circumstances, if the link is established between the two workbooks, yes, probably the range name become applicable in that instance. So Callum sir, can you please add something to that?
You are correct. You are correct, Roshan sir, because basically it is working within the workbook, and in that case we can use either for the one sheet or to the whole workbook. When you apply one command like a range name, that will be working in the whole workbook. So you cannot use that word or the given name again within the workbook. So combining two workbook will be a little bit difficult in this situation using the range name command, but you can create your internal formulas and do that.
So that's how it works. Yes. So it's good. Likewise, you may bring your concerns. So we would love to address that.
Shall we then move on to the discussion of the activities?
Yes,
You
sir,
can
sure.
share the screen. Yes, it's
Yes.
better you can share the screen and then we can discuss, and also we can ask our students to share their screens as
Yeah.
well.
First, sir, we'll ask them to share it,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. Then yeah. So now we'll be moving to the discussion of the class activities. So first, we would like to give the opportunity for those who would love to volunteer. So we'll start with the question 1. So can one of you can share your answer?
If you have completed that work, you can indicate that to us, then we will allow you to share your window.
Yeah.
If you have the Excel sheet available with you, then we can have a very good discussion regarding the formulas what you have created, because you can also contribute your knowledge to the others, and also from our side we can make corrections to your answers.
Yeah.
Who is willing to start? Or we will call your names now.
Yes.
So you can ask one student, no?
yeah, so it seems
Then if she or he can answer
yeah.
whether she has completed that work. If it is completed, only we can have a discussion with that person, no?
Yeah.
Otherwise, we cannot have a discussion.
Yeah, sure, sir. Prasad, can you please share your answer with us?
කියනවාද කියලා අහන්නනේ ආන්සර් එක හදලා දන්නේ නැති නේ. If they
Prasad,
have answer,
yeah.
then
Prasad,
we
are
can allow
you
it.
done with the question?
ප්‍රසාද හදලා තියෙන පුතා ආන්සර් එක. Are you having the answer?
So they have indicated that he couldn't. But you are supposed so this is something for your betterment from the beginning. So you have to take this serious because the practice will make the difference, right? The practice will make the difference. So therefore you have to attempt this. So that was the expectation. We have made these videos available, the questions available even before 1 week's time. So therefore you had the plenty of time, and we were emphasizing on this, the importance of practicing this. So therefore you have to attempt this question. So that is the expectation. Otherwise this the effort but we are putting so it would be a waste, right? So we are here to make the things more interactive, so to support you with the answers what you have generated. So rather than just showing the answer what we did, so this is not something that we should master, so it is something that you are expected to master. So therefore as far as this discussion is concerned, so you have to contribute a lot, right? Okay, so how about Gimhani? Are you done with this question? Yes, so Gimhani, so are you in a position to share your screen? So if we allow you the right to share your screen. Samit sir, can we give Gimhani the right to share her screen? Ah, yes, good. So she has come up with the screen. Yes. Yes, you have done a good piece of work. Yes, it seems that you have taken the things correctly. So I believe that everyone can see her screen, right? Okay. So Gimhani, can you please explain how you get these sales figures? So can you take us to the January sales and show how you have managed to get that? Right. So then February sales. So January, probably you have taken this the sales unit in January multiplied by the sales price. Right. Yes. So when it comes to the February sales, you have done it very correctly. So you have referred to the January sales and then you have multiplied by the growth rate in the price as well as in the units. So this is the required computation. So you are very correct with this respect. So you have very correctly done that. You have applied it correctly. So then for the rest of the sales.
Sir, can I ask a question from her?
Yes,
now,
sure.
why she has taken this absolute command there? Can you please explain us why you have taken the absolute command? Any reason why you have taken absolute command here for your cell reference C5 and cell reference C6? If you can speak up, that is good
Yes.
to others as well. Then you can explain why you have taken that.
Yeah.
What is the reason for having this dollar mark in front of these rows and columns? Any reason? It's just like that you have done it, or any purpose for that?
Yes, Gimhani. Can you please talk?
It's better if you can explain that, because
Yes,
once
yes.
you are doing something, you need to know, no?
Yeah.
What is the reason of having this dollar mark for the C5 cell and also C6 cell? Why you have taken it there? What is the reason for that?
Yeah. So are you finding any difficulties while you're talking? So if so, please let us know. So it's good that you have done a good piece of work. So you just need to.
So students are saying that they can't see it.
Uh,
Samantha sir, is that visible to everyone?
Yes,
So we can see actually.
he
I
can
don't
see
know.
actually.
Yeah.
Yes.
Ah, okay, okay. He can also see, right? No
Yeah.
problem. Right, right,
yeah.
right.
Yeah. Is it okay, sir?
Yeah, now okay, right.
Yeah. Thanks, sir. Gimhani, are you finding any difficulty while you are talking or you are not talking?
ඒ ඩොලර් මාක් එක ගත්ත කියලා explain කරන්න පුළුවන්ද? You can speak in Sinhala, no problem at all. Just to get an idea whether you have done it in a proper manner with understanding, right? Why you are doing that. You need to know මොකක්ද අපි එහෙම කරන්නේ ඇයි කියලා අපිට කියන්න පුළුවන් වෙන්න පැත්ත.
She has indicated in the chat that that is the growth rate is constant in every month.
Yes, what is the reason for why we are constant in it නේ?
Yeah.
ඒකනේ කියන්නේ දැන් පුතා ඇයි එහෙම constant කරන්නේ? මොකක්ද ඔයාලට ඒකෙන් ලැබෙන වාසිය? එහෙම කරාම.
Yes, even others can contribute.
Yeah, anybody can contribute.
Yeah.
So can we take sales unit and sales price in two rows and then sales value? Lakshita, what do you want to say here? I can't
So-
understand your question.
Kalam sir, it's that here we have in the output, we have straight away taken the sales. So
Yeah.
what he's asking that can't we bring this sales price and unit into the model and then generate sales thereby?
From the sales value which we have taken, yes, yes.
Yeah.
Now we have taken that, no? B16 can make any the sale.
No,
B16
what he's asking, sir, can
Yeah.
we bring that sales price to the face, showing 75 or whatever the price, and
No,
showing the sales unit?
yeah. Within the answer model, no?
Yeah.
That is not good answer, no? In
Yeah,
that case.
so it is better that you start with the sales. So in that you can easily incorporate. So as the Gimhani has done, so this is the ideal approach. So
Yes.
you better not take that sales price and sales unit. You can easily incorporate that growth rate and you can easily generate the sales. So better.
Yeah, constant this two sales because it's help you to drag, no? Drag and get the research of time we require to go each and every month and do this. So this help you to drag it for a future for any number of periods. So it will give the correct result because these two cells which you have constant, that is C5 and C6, is not going to change at the time when you constant it, when you are drag number of years answers. So that is correct answer. Good. So Gimani, can you please erase your inputs? Erase your inputs. Just delete, highlight the inputs and delete everything.
Just delete.
But then the model is perfectly developed. When you remove the
Yes.
input area, your answer sheet need to get a 0 values or no numbers at all. So that is the perfect module, right? So then the inputter or the user can type any numbers there in the input area and he can generate of doing the modeling. So you have taken that very well and we are happy to see that you have developed that in a proper manner.
Yeah.
So others also need to take that example, I think.
Yeah.
And also when you are designing, very good coloring, giving the decimals, giving the also formattings are very much required because we don't have time for you to explain all these formatting functions available in the Excel sheet. Basically, we hope that you are having that understanding with your basic course under the year one, right? You have done this Excel year one as well. So maybe you are having those knowledge available. So that's what we are thinking of giving. We have given a very limited time to go through with you. So we are trying our maximum level to give you the maximum benefits from that. So it's very good, Gimani. Thank you very much.
Yes,
So
thank you very much.
you can take that answer again. If you take the previous pattern, you can get that, no?
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Perfect.
here, this is in fact the required answer. For the month of January, it should be 1.168
Yeah.
million. So that is the correct one, and February that is 1,000,1.281. So you have taken that very correctly. So others can refer to that. So we believe that in this question, the most challenging part was the sales and also the cost of sales. So one more thing, so Gimhani, can you please show us that cost of sales figure as well? So can you please go there? Okay, then February. Yes, so you have very correctly incorporated the growth in units and also the cost per unit. So that is the most important thing.
කවුරුහරි පුතෙක් එකක් විතරක් ගත්තා නම් ආන්සර් එක වර්ධිනවා.
Yes.
Because unit growth rate එකත් applicable to the cost of sales as well.
Yes,
So the both growth rate, yes, very correct.
very correct. You have done it nicely. So that was the challenging part in this model. So the rest of the things, so it is manageable. Good. And there was a question that from Vipuli that she asked, can we use the power option? I used the power option and got the same. So Vipuli, can you please share your answer and can you please take us through that?
Some second give the rights to her, ne?
Yeah.
To share the
So
answer.
Kimhan, you can leave that share screen. So it is Vipuli. So Sanitsa, can we allow her to share? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
I think now it's okay.
Yeah. So it is there. So here, yeah. We'll see. Refer to the answer. Yes, as far as the answer is concerned, yes.
Answer is correct. Now, in a model development, basically, it needs to be very simple formulas to be used. If you can get the minimum effort to develop a formula, that is what is required, rather than taking a lot of mathematical calculation formulas and developing the answer. Because this kind of formula may create sometimes errors. When you are going to drag and copy this, it's a longer formula and it's developed. So in that situation, your answers may get errors at the end. So the second month Haridas answer
It's 2.142, but the bottom line seems correct.
February month.
Let me just refer to my answers. No, correct, sir. Yeah, correct. Perfectly correct. So the answer is correct, but you have put extra effort with this respect. But we agree that as far as model is concerned, so one of the principles is the efficiency. So there we have agreed that. So there are two aspects in efficiency. So the one of the aspects is that it should be easily understood to the user. So therefore, I believe that so you have compromised that particular aspect to a certain extent. So you have managed to get the job done. So you have generate the answer. So the effectiveness is there, but there you have compromised the efficiency, but it seems. But good. So
Good, very good. So this is the option. The other students can see now it's recorded, so they can also learn. Any other formulas was used. When a formula use then we can open up your screen, also can share with others, because there are various ways you can do the same thing. You can create your own formulas. This creation of formulas is very, very important in the model development. Get the proper answers. So if you have now different answer than the two answers which we have shown to you, you can share.
Yeah. So another question, sir, is there, sir?
Yeah.
So they ask that instead of using $sign to make
Yeah.
the cells as absolute cells, can't we rename the cells? Yes, in fact, you can do that. So
Yeah.
that is what the rename.
Yeah.
So that is what the range name will do.
Rename.
That's what the range name will do.
Range name.
Yeah.
But sir, because the range name command normally we are not using for one single cell, because single cell waste of your time of using this range name command. But as you mentioned very correctly, if you put their sales or some other kind of name, that will be fixed, automatically fixed. That particular cell is fixed. Then you can drag and copy.
Again, the same question that is that can we mention number of units sold and price and units sold separately for each month without getting directly the amounts? But as far as the model is concerned, again, so it is better not to bring these individual values, because you can keep them in the input area and you can easily refer them and generate. So as far as the output of a sales forecast or the sales projection is concerned, so what we take is the sales, cost of sales. That's how we go. So in fact, when you prepare the financial statements, so that's how we do. So therefore, we stick to that particular format.
පුතාලා financial statements හදනකොට එහෙම ගන්නෙ නෑනේ, units ගන්න calculate කරලා පෙන්නන්නේ නෑනේ පුතා statement එකේ. That's why it is better you can keep under the formula that calculation and then get the results into the result sheet. But if you are at the moment, if you are developed like that, it will take a longer time to develop like that. So unnecessarily unit calculate කරනවා, ඊට පස්සේ ඒකට value calculate කරනවා. So by using only, actually you required here 9 formulas to be developed. That 9 formulas will get you any amount of answers for any longer period, say 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, any amount of periods you can incorporate. Only 9 formulas required. For the first sales filter, you need 2 formulas. Cost of sales, 2 formulas. Then after that, only one single formula to the first sale. Then you got an option of dragging and copying. Our flexibility කියන එක සර් කියලා දුන්නා නම් ඔයගොල්ලන්ට flexibility කියන එක තියෙන්න ඕනේ. model එක අනිත් එක model එක simplified වෙන්න ඕනේ, model එක understandable වෙන්න ඕනේ user ට. හදිස්සිය user ට modification එකක් කරන්න ඕනොත් අපි complicated mathematical formulas use කරොත් he may be not in the position of making changes. එතකොට එයාටත් තේරෙන්න ඕනේ, අපිටත් තේරෙන්න ඕනේ range name එකත් ඒ වගේ command එකක් තමයි. මොකද range name එකෙන් දැන් ඔය C2 multiplied by C3 කියනකට වඩා අපිට කියන්න තියෙනවා sales multiplied by unit price කියලා. So that is more convenient and understandable for the users. So ඒකට ඒ flexibility එක දීලා තියෙන එකට තමයි ඒතර ඔයගොල්ලන් ඉගෙන ගන්නකොට ඔයගොල්ලෝ ඒ options ඔක්කොම use කරන්න. That is good for you, because at the meantime the model is developed not for ourselves. So in case if you are developing the model for yourself, you can write any formula because you know what is going to generate from that particular formula. So if you can simplify your formula and give an understandable formula to the user, in that situation user will get a better understanding of what we are doing and what is the calculation, how the calculations are made in that particular formula. So ඒකින්ද පුතාලා range name එකත් ඉතාලම හොඳ command එකක්. range name එකෙන් ඔයගලන්ට අර C2 multiply by C3 කියනවට වඩා අපිට කියන්න තියෙනවා sales multiply by unit selling price කියලා. එහෙම කිව්වනම් ඕනම කෙනෙක්ට ඒක formula එක දිහා බැලුවම blind කෙනෙක් මේ තේරෙන්නේ නැති කෙනෙක් නැත්නම් ඒක තේරුම් ගැනීමේ හැකියාව තියෙනවා.
Yes, good. So shall we move on to the question number 2? So are there any volunteers?
That is straight away with the range name command.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we are now moving to the range name, the applications of that.
කාටරි share කරන්න කිව්වනම් හරි නේද sir?
Yes.
Not the same people who have shared now.
Yeah, sure.
Some other person.
Yeah, sure. So how about Ratnayaka? So hope you are done with the question.
පුතාලා කරලා නැත්තම් කියන්න, no problem.
Yes.
We are not penalizing any of you. So it's better if you, as mentioned earlier, if you can practice that, because we are sending the videos and the material 1 week prior to this discussion, hoping that you have practiced that and you have problems. You have now so many good questions asked by some of you. It's very good. calculation of these numbers calculate කරන්න ඕනේ, the unit calculate කරන්න ඕනේ. These things need to be clear. No, when it comes to the examination, you will be getting the case studies, and if you are not properly developing your models, you will be losing your marks. At the end of the day, it's a challenge of getting the marks also, learning as well as passing the exams.
Yes, so we would like to hear from you. So I'm still, he's still on the bus. Okay, so let's try. Tarika, right? IVD Tarika. So did you do the question? Question number 2. Can you share your answer with us?
Currently, හදපු කෙනෙක්ට answer එක share කරන්න කියන්නේ, so it's better,
Yes,
because
yeah.
they are
So
not
are there any
talking and they are not
volunteers? Yes.
showing anything.
Yeah,
So it's very bad at the end of the day.
yeah. We better not waste our time on this, right? So
Yeah.
you should come up with the answers, right?
Quickly, then we can
So
discuss and finish.
anyone to represent? Yeah, yeah. Yes, Lakshita.
Right? Right. Yeah.
Good.
Okay.
All
Right.
right.
Good. Mm-hmm.
So there was the expectation was that.
So what is the first question, sir? First question is to calculate.
Yeah, let me refer that, sir.
First one, total sales of the each product. No. Yeah. Can you go to that answer? Highlight it. Superb. Yes. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Good. Perfect. So keep that answer, highlight that, in others, if the people who are not approachers, then they can get an idea how
Yeah.
you calculated this. Okay. So you are given the name, range name. How you give this range name to for this particular activity? Now you got a table which was produced by the user, right? So what we have done, we have highlighted the whole thing, right? Including the names. Then you've gone for which option you have gone for the rename command. මොකද්ද ගත්ත option එක ඔයා rename කරන්න. Range name එකට use කරපු option එක පුතා.
So I selected the whole area, and
Yes.
then from the formula bar,
Yeah.
wait, I can't see that.
You went to
Then
the formulas, then again.
then create from selection.
Very good. Yes. Create from selection option. That is the option, because the whole the headings are there. In that case, we don't have to give a very specific name again.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one,
Yeah.
from
So
top
that's
row and
perfect.
left column.
So
Yes.
without less effort, you can get them managed. So you have done it very
Yeah.
correctly. Good. So that was the
තව
expectation.
question එකක් පුතා, මේක formula එක පල්ලෙහාට drag කළාද ඔය answer එක ගත්තේ? එහෙම නැත්නම් එකින් එකට formula එක ලියුවද?
I have dragged and this.
Small changes, right?
Yeah,
Number,
sales.
perfect.
Yeah.
That is the way to do it. Yes, because
Yeah.
it will repeat the same number.
Yeah.
Then you drag it, then you just change the P1, P2, P3
Yeah. Yes.
number. Perfect. Good.
Yeah,
Very
that was the expectation. Good
So
job.
you are, all of you are using very good application knowledge. So the average one, highlight the average one, the average calculation. Yeah,
So each product name.
yes,
Yes.
each product average. And the maximum one. So the max, you have used the max command. Yes, good. And for the down answers, average for the each state.
Yeah. Good.
Perfect.
So you have
Okay.
done a
Yeah,
piece
good.
of job.
Good. Excellent.
So that-
You can ask now. So even the
if there's any question on this, yes.
who's sharing the screen, අපිට කවුද screen එක share කරන්නේ පුතාගේ නම මොකක්ද?
Lakshita.
Yeah, Lakshita can explain. He is very good. So
Yeah.
excellent. So anyone want to ask anything from Lakshita? Perfectly developed.
Yeah.
This is the kind of thing we expect from you. Still, we are in the starting point, whereby you can learn more and more options once we are going through this process.
Yeah.
So excellent. You are using your old knowledge. You are using your creativity. All these are there. Because
Yeah.
once you create the table, you can't type creations lesson color කරලා. So that's a fantastic job. Good. තව පුතාලට මොන හරි ප්‍රශ්න තියෙනවද මේ question එක ගැන? Question number 2, which is sharing by Lakshita. කවුරුහරි කරගන්න බැරි වුණ පුතාලා පොඩ්ඩක් බලන්න බලලා ඉවරලා ඔයගොල්ලෝ මේව
Yes, you
ප්‍රැක්ටිස්
have to
කරන්න.
indicate us. Yes. So seems that everyone is perfect with this.
Yeah.
So shall we move to the third question? Thank you very much, Lakshita. Right. So we'll move to the question number 3. So again, we would like someone to volunteer, and yes, we'll start discussion as soon as possible. Yes. So it's a comprehensive question. Better take us through that and enlighten the class.
සහකාරයට පුළුවන් ෂෙයා කරන්න ඔයාගේ හදපු ආන්සර් එක.
Yes, you don't have to wait until
Because there's a question as well, so please explain the answer number 3.
Yeah.
Some of you got a problem of creating that answer. So shall we explain, Roshan, that answer?
Sure,
It's
sure.
a little bit, because there's a question from early question from Indis as well.
Yeah, sure. So let me share my screen. Yeah.
Explaining, yes, how to do that answer. So you can share your window.
Yeah.
No?
So hope everyone can see the window. Yeah. Right. So here you are given a database. So the stocks database. So in fact, I have taken that to my sheet 3. So here we have the data. So there you have given information about the share return of the Microsoft company and the General Motors. So from the period 2009 January to 2019 December. So that was the period which it was given. Then the question asked for 2 things. One is about the average monthly return on a year basis. Average monthly return on a year basis. So therefore I have identified year 2009 to 2019. So I have identified the year. So I could simply take this 2009 and 2010, and then I have simply dragged that. So that's how we do. So all the time we have to make sure that, so let me delete this. You have to make sure that the efficiency is there. So therefore in line with that, I've just typed 2 and I have dragged it. So there I have get the years. And thereafter, how we get this monthly return. In that particular case, so if you refer to the given database, you can see that, so it is given the monthly return. So if I take 2009 from January to December, that is given. So in order to get the average monthly return, what do I have to do? So I may have to select for each of these companies that particular period. So that is in the sense, the first I might select the figures that is relating to 2009. Then what I would do, I would give a range name for that. So it has to be something meaningful. In my case, I have given that MSTF, that is to represent the company 2009. So it is a meaningful name. So likewise, when I'm approaching, I have done it for the rest. So similarly, I did that for the 2010 figures. I have selected that figure and give a name. So likewise, I have continued that up until 2019. So in that, I have simply used this name box command there. Similarly, when it comes to the General Motors, in 2009, what I did, I have selected, similarly, I did in the case of Microsoft. So I selected the period, and there initially what I had tried, that I tried GM 2009. So first that's what I tried. So like I did in the case of MSTF 2009, I tried GM 2009. Then what was the message I was getting? It says that you can't apply that. You can't apply GM 2009. So it was simply because, so it's a existing name. It's an existing name. So if you refer to this worksheet, So there is a particular cell called GM 2009. So it is there because, so you would have referred that when it comes to this, the range name principles, you can't use
GM
that.
is available within the range, yes, sir?
Yes. The
It's
GM
repeating in the column name. It's a column name. GM is a column name. So
Yeah.
we cannot use that.
You cannot use that. So therefore, in my case, what I did a slight modification. I take GM, then I use the underscore, then I take 2009 because I just wanted to keep them meaningful. So when I refer that to a data point in time, I need to make sure that that is meaningful. Then that is GM 2009. Likewise, I continued that. Then what I did, as Lakshita did in the case, so when it comes to these answers, if I just delete this, just to show one, first I take this average MSTF 2009, then I copied that, then I pasted it for the rest. Then all of what I did, I just have to change only two figures, 2010, the next one 2011. So likewise, I did with few effort. So I would say that using a less effort, I able to generate the answers. That's how I did. And similarly, when it comes to GM, I did the same. I copied and I have pasted that for the rest. Then I just went and did a little modification to this, make it 2010 likewise. That's how I did.
Even they can select from the drop down. When you erase it, the drop down will appear. When you are erasing one number, sir, the drop down will appear. From there, you can highlight. For example, you again go to the change in cell, highlight it and go to the change in cell. Second one, highlight the second one, GM.
GM, okay.
2, sir. Go to the 2. GM
right.
2.
Yeah.
And then go to the change in cell that in the formula bar. Change කරන තැනට යන්න sir. නමේ මකන්න දැන්. So you go to the change in cell. ඒක මකන්න ඕන දැක්කල.
I have to change delete entire thing, right?
නමේ එතනින් formula bar එකෙන් මකන්න.
Right.
So then you got the list, ne?
Yes.
List, then
even the list. Yeah,
yes.
list is
then
there,
you can select one by one.
So it may come in
and
handy.
then you can enter it.
Yeah.
Double click කරාම එතනට එනවා automatically.
Yes. So it can.
There are
it may even come in
options
handy.
available. Yes.
Yeah, you may explore that. Yeah. So it's there. So that is something which comes handy, and that's how I managed to get that for the the monthly return for the Microsoft and the GM on a yearly basis. And thereafter, the question also asks that you need to get the average monthly return for the entire period. In that particular case, you have to consider the period 2009 to 2019. In that, so it is quite easy for me to generate the range name. So because I have to select the entire period, so then I simply select this for once, the entire data set. Then in that, I didn't take this option. So to do that more efficiently, I went to the formulas, and then I have taken the option create from selection. Then it asks where you want to get the names. So I would say take it from the top row. So I have asked to take the names from the top row, and that's what I did. And so there I have get these names. So the MSTF and GM. So then I have taken the average GM and average MSTF. So this is how you should work out the question number 3. Yes, any?
Make the extra effect because you got several years, and then you have to block each year by giving a separate range name. So you have to go 2009, block it and give a name for that. Then go to the 2010, block that area and give a name. So there are several names I use. As you can see, the several years are there. So first you have to develop that kind of blocks, and then after that you have to bring that into the answer.
Yeah. So that was the thing that they take some extra effort. So you'd have to select that one by one and get that right. So if you have any questions on that, yes, we would love to provide more clarifications on this. Or otherwise, we can move to the 4th question. මේකේ උදාට පැහැදිලි කරගන්න යමක් තියෙනවා නම් කියන අපි ඒක further explain කරන්න පුළුවන්. Yes. The Lakshita says that yes, so he has tried the same thing also using the pivot table and got the same answer, but the problem is that the pivot
Yes.
table won't change as we update input data. So there you might have to refresh that or something. So can't the
Yes.
pivot table be converted to be updated when we change inputs?
And also, sir, I think the Lakshita, now in the examination, we specifically telling you to use a certain formula. එතකොට ඔයගේ ආන්සර් එක හරියට අපි බලන්නේ ආන්සර් එක නෙවෙයි. අපි බලන්නේ ඔය ඇප්ලිකේෂන් එක හරියට කරාද කියන එක තමයි. So if you ask to use the range name, it is better to use the range name because it's a specific command to practice for yourself given. So in that case, if you use the different type of command or different type of options what is available, such as the pivot table, we are not able to give you marks because what we are looking for not the answer, whether you are applying the given commands. Appropriate command එක පුතාලට specifically කිව්වොත් මේ question එකේ range name එක භාවිතා කරන්න කියලා. ඒතර පුතාලට range name එක අනිවාර්යෙන් භාවිතා කරන්න ඕන. අපි ලකුණු දෙන්නේ range name එකට. එහෙම නැතුව answer එකට නෙවෙයි ඔයගොල්ලන්ගේ.
So yeah.
Exam එකේදී පුතා දැන් මේ practice කරන එකේ no problem පුතා. You
Yeah,
can
better.
practice it.
You better
Yes,
explore
but
that.
for the
Yeah.
examination, be careful because it's accumulating marks. No, at the end of the day, අපි ලකුණු ගන්න එපේ. ඒතර පුතාලට specifically අපි අර instructions දෙන්නේ දීලා තියෙන formula එකම use කරොත් පුතාලට ඒ ලකුණු ගැනීමේ හැකියාව තියෙනවා.
Yes, even when we are going to take this pivot table into discussion, so there we will expose you to the different options that is available. Even the question what you had raised, so you would be able to get it sorted out. So probably in the videos, the next couple of lectures, so you'll get all the clarification, all the questions that you have relating this pivot table clarified, right? So we'll ensure that. So we'll keep the things until such time. Good. So likewise, you may explore different things and bring that into the discussion. So then we may get the things clarified accordingly. Good. So we are quite happy that you are trying to put the things in different ways. Good. So shall we move on to the fourth question? So can someone volunteer? So I believe that it's something you can easily manage. So it does not require that much of effort. Probably you have done it perfectly. Yes, we would love to see the volunteers. Yes. I'll make a share කරන්න. Lakmali, can you share the answer? Or anyone else? Yes.
Already කරපු එකකින් ගන්න sir නේ. Then we
Okay.
can discuss and finish
Yes.
it off.
Yes. So this is
Anyone
my
willing to
question.
share?
So let's see that and finish the things off. Yeah. So someone may contribute. මේක කරපු කවුරු හරි ඉන්නවනම් share කරන්න. ඊට පස්සේ අපි ඒක discuss කරමු. So without taking much time. Yes.
I don't think it's a difficult question, no?
Yeah.
It's a very easy question. Now, the difficult one is actually the third one. That's what the student mentioned that very correctly. So we were able to explain that. So I hope that is the difficult question out of all the questions available there. Right?
Yeah.
So other than that, this question is very similar to the question number two. Question number 2.
Yeah.
Different scenario only, but the same thing to be calculated. Averages, yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Thank
Okay,
you.
Martin, very good.
Yeah.
Right. Good the answer. Yeah.
Right. So here we have taken the database. And the first question is about calculate the total and average mark for each student using range names. Okay, so in that, first you have taken a kind of output. So output area. in that you have identified the names. Okay. And
total and average දෙකම තියෙනවා නේ ඒක හරි. එයාගේ
yes.
table එක. පුතා ඒක highlight කරනකොට මේ
Average
answers
is not that, yeah.
yeah
Right.
correct. No problem.
Yeah.
Go to the average one also.
Yeah.
Highlight the average.
Good.
Perfect. No problem.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Then initially, can you show us how you apply the names for that? So that was your approach. Okay, you have select the entire thing and go to the formulas and create from selection. That's how you use the
Okay.
approach,
Okay.
right? Fine.
That's
You
the
have
option.
taken the most efficient path. Good.
Highlight everything, Buddha. Starting from the name of the student from that position.
Yeah,
Full
yeah.
table. Right. Correct. That's perfect. Then go to the create selection and select the top row and the left row.
Left, yeah.
So sometimes you may require only the top row, then keep only the top row. Some kind of calculation, if you require the left column also, then you can keep the left column as well.
Yes.
So perfect. So that is the option. So that's what we want to see. Depend on the given scenario, what is the formula you are going to select. But sometimes it is very difficult when range name command එකේ තව එක principle එකක් තමයි longer names are not going to be used. The bigger නම් තිබ්බොත් එහෙම අකුරක් හරියාම යවුනොත් it is not going to work. That's why it is simplified names. ඒතකොට එක්ක අපි මේ table එකේ උඩ නම් ටික ඕන අපිට පොඩි කරගන්න පුළුවන් නේ. කෙටි කරලා හදා ගන්න පුළුවන්. maths වලට අකුරු තුනක් වගේ අරගෙන ඒ වගේ හදා ගන්න පුළුවන් පුතාලට. Because when you take the longer names, by mistakenly, if you simply miss one letter or if you type one letter mistakenly, it is not going to work. Exactly, word that is one of the things to be remembered.
There's a question as well, sir.
Yes.
So there they ask that when come to this range name, so if we create the names from the selection option, so as we do here, in a separate sheet, except that sheet which we create range name using create from selection. So can we use the same range name in a different worksheet? So that's what the question is about.
Where Buddha? Options දෙකක් තියෙනවා. If you apply that into the particular sheet, it is only working within the given sheet. So you can use the same name, you cannot use in the other sheet. So you have to use a different name. So if you have apply that into the workbook, that is automatically working in the other sheet as well. Option option.
Yeah. Sure. So if we in fact we have different options. So if you use that the create from selection, so that become applicable for the whole workbook.
Automatically workbook එකටම apply වෙනවා.
Yeah, but if you use that, if you go to this define name, there you can restrict the scope. Here we have the option for the scope. Say for an example, if you get this, so if you create a particular name over here, so you can restrict that to a particular sheet. So let's say that you want to confine that to sheet 3, so you better select that. Then that particular name is only applicable for this sheet. So therefore, if you want to use the same name for different sheets, then the option what you should take, it is the define name. So you better take define name, then you can restrict the scope, then that particular name is the same name can be applied in different worksheets. But if you use the option create from selection, that is applicable for the whole workbook. You can't use the same name for different worksheets. So it is for the book. And also, if you use this name box option, the same thing. So if you create a particular name using the name box option, again it is applicable for the whole workbook.
And we have explained them how to modify it, yes, sir?
Yes.
Manage name manager.
Yes, I have.
Range modify කරන්න කියලා කරන්න.
Yeah, given name. So if you want to do that, so all what you have to do is you have to go to this name manager. Then all the names that is there in this workbook, so it becomes appear. And there what you have to do, you can delete the things easily. And if you want to edit that, you can take this edit option. So then you can edit the things. So if you find this name is incorrect, or if you want to use a different one, so you can do that.
And also show them, sir, that now when you create this range name, it is going to be an internal formula already in the system.
Yeah.
So we can show them how it is comparing with the other internal formulas, equal sign එක දාලා sir
Yeah.
type කරන්න. Just
So if you take that,
yeah, then we got the list of formulas. Under that we can see your created formulas as well.
yeah,
This
if I
is the
type G,
original one. ඒක
so
පෙන්නනවා.
you
I
can
think
see that
it's
the GM is there.
so it's an inbuilt formula now. Until
Yeah.
you delete it, it is going to be an inbuilt formula within the system, like the system formulas which was created under the system.
Yeah, it comes there. See, so it is something that you have created. So if you want to take max or something, so you may try this, right? Maximum value, if you want to generate for this, the maximum return of Microsoft. So if you type M and S, yeah, see here they comes. So it has become internalized. It has become internalized. So, so in the video recording, we have extensively discussed that. So hope you are clear with those aspects. And, yes. So likewise, we would love to see more and more questions coming. And yes, so that's how. So it will benefit the whole group. So good that. So you have come up with your concerns.
Clarifications තියෙනවද දන්නේ යාලට?
Yes. So if you have further clarifications, any clarification, we can attend to that. So otherwise, this is the content what we expect to discuss for the day. And right after this session, so we'll made available the lectures for this week. So again, it's a continuation from the last week. So in the last week, we have discussed about the 4 model development principles. So where we left with 3 principles. So in the today's lecture, so we'll be discussing about those 3 principles, the rest of the principles. So now we'll be make them available to you. And similarly, the class activities.
It is already available, so they can now download from the system site if they want.
So now it is made available, so you can download and you can refer to that. And the class activities would be uploaded in a short while. And you may practice that. And when you come to the next class, similarly, we are taking the online discussion. So like we used to do today. So can you show the answer for the 4th question again? Okay, so let me show that, right? So I'm sharing the screen here. So in that, so the first, so like it was shown in my case also, I have taken the names and there I have identified the total and average, and here it comes to total. So it is the marks, the total marks of Kamal. Again, the same approach. You may do one particular formula, then you may copy that and paste it and do little modification as required, then you may get the answer. Then average, again, so the average formula will help you with that, the same thing. Then the highest average is asked. So the highest average is 86.6667. So it is out of the average. So in the first question, you work out the totals and average. The second question is about the highest average. So then you may get that. So in my case, for this average, I have given a name, then max. I have given
range name average එකට range name එකක් දී ගන්න ඕනේ. Average එක range name එකකින් අරන් තමයි සර් අරන් තියෙන්නේ. Average ටික ඔක්කොම එක range name එකට ගන්නවා.
The lowest average the same. So you can refer to the same thing and you may generate that. And finally, the average marks for each subject. So in that, so you have given the names, range name for these subjects, mathematics, science, and English from the create from selection in that. So you may get the average of each of these subjects. So these are the answers. Yes, are you getting that? Yeah. So the one who raised that, he's fine with that. So are we going to make these answers available in the LMSO?
I think the students they can share their answers because they develop beautiful ones.
Yeah.
We're just trying to show you that you have creativity, you have your own ability of developing nice structures. So whereby few of you can share it. You can send it Roshan's mail, then we will upload that.
Yeah.
So the
So
students
that's
can
good.
see it. Ne? Rather
that's
than
good.
uploading our answers, we will
Yeah.
upload your answers.
Yeah.
So
That's
you
better.
have developed nicely.
Yeah.
It is much beautiful to see.
Yeah.
And also we can mention your name and number there,
Yeah.
so everyone can see.
Yeah. So better few of you may send me the answers. Then I might so upload one or two answers. Yes. So you can email that to us. So email that to me. So I'll upload that. So you have done a good piece of work. So that should get the credit. So then we may do the rest. Right. So if you are fine with that, so it is the expectation of the today's session. Yes. So so we are quite happy with the way you have contributed, and we expect more and more of you would contribute in the upcoming lectures as well. So then, so we'll ensure that we are getting the required learning.
And also, Puta, LMS we have given an option whereby you can make your comments. It is good. You can go to the lesson feedback කියන තැනට ගිහිල්ලා පුතාලා click කරලා ඒක ඇතුලේ ඔයගලන්ගේ මේ නිකන් attempt නෙවෙයි, you have to type that. You can continue එකට ගිහිල්ලා ඊට පස්සේ type කරන ඔයාලගේ feedback. So that's very useful feedback time to time when we will look at all these feedbacks and we will improve.
Yeah.
What we are discussing with you. So you can share. ඔයගලන්ගේ thoughts තමයි අපි share කරන්න කියලා කියන්නේ. කැමති කෙනෙක්ට ඒකට ගිහිල්ලා thoughts share කරන්න. ඒක නිකන් type කරන්න ඕන පුතාලා ඇතුළට ගිහිල්ලා text box එකක් එන්නේ ඒක ඇතුලේ type කරලා save කරන්න. Approach කරලා නිකන් ඉන්න නැතුව සමහර පුතාලා ඒකට try කරලා මුකුත් type කරන්න නැතුව නිකන් ඉඳලා තියෙනවා. එහෙම නැතුව finish attempt කියලා දාන්න අන්තිමට type කරලා you click the finish attempt button, then it will be uploaded. So those thoughts are very much important for us. So we can look it into that. I think it's enough, sir.
Yes. Then
So we can conclude
the today's discussion. So thank you very much, everyone. Thank you very much, Kelvin sir. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Salil sir.
Good night, and we will meet you next week also same time at 7:30 to 8:30, 1 hour discussion. Sometimes it may take a little bit longer, depend on the situations. Depend on the questions which we are discussing. May require long time, may require short time. Once we finish the activity, we will finish. Don't worry.
Right. Okay. Then good night to everyone.